time for another episode of Lunch with Banks. And this time, I've got the legendary in-game leader turned coach, Navi Blade, with me. Blade, we're gonna have some fun. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Yeah? All right, we're gonna get some food first. You told me already earlier, you're not a man that maybe eats so healthy.
No, no. I mean, it's.
So what are you like?
I'm trying to do more healthy
Okay.
food, but it's not always you can do this. A lot of stress.
Yeah.
You need to eat the stress. You know.
Do you make the boys eat certain foods or try to eat better?
It's something that actually you prefer, and everyone is like trying to do this.
Oh, grab yourself a plate, grab some stuff.
But I thought that today there is no healthy food.
Aha.
So Bumic was eating like this and that, like fried plate, I told it.
Yeah.
I called it fried plate.
So you
I
want him to eat
think
more healthy?
there is nothing for me here.
Okay, you're gonna do salad plate then?
Yes.
Yeah? You're showing healthy for the camera.
We spoke about this, and if you trying to eat something not healthy, it must be really delicious.
It has to be the nicest.
I'm not sure that this.
That's not for delicious.
This is delicious.
All right, what about this? Sorry from the salad bowl. I see mango. Mango's always a good show.
Okay, my teammates,
Yeah.
they always keep saying every day that this corn is like one of the best. I don't know why.
Corn?
Yeah,
okay.
this corn.
Try the corn.
They say like they take it every day. I didn't taste it before.
Well, there you go.
So Beat is eating it. Electronic is eating it.
Yep.
And Beat is like top player on this event.
So, it's the secret to success, the corn.
Maybe.
And Bit is performing really good. You want anything else, or you're just having corn?
Only corn.
Only corn, all right. So already we've understood the corn is not that good. You don't have the same taste as Bit, but I'm focused on you, Blade, in this. So you started off in Counter-Strike 1.6, you played for a very long time, right? You started in the 2003 side of things. But what was your life as a child? Did you have some sisters, brothers? What was growing up like for you?
I have two brothers, and I'm the smallest one, the youngest. So they used to say that the youngest one gets more attention, right? What do you want to know?
Just what was life like growing up for you at that point? What was it like starting life before Counter-Strike, before we know Blade?
You know, I have long answers.
Yeah, always.
You want to know, like, I can details, a lot of details.
So basically think of this as like, you know, the major player profiles we used to do, but now Valve don't do them. So think of this like showing people more about you and the personality, the man behind the coach. Because what I did with like Apex was starting his childhood. We spoke about how life was growing up, little brief. We'll do a small bit on 1.6 and then we'll get into like Go, flip side, that kind of thing, yeah?
I don't know. It was a long time before, a long time ago. I mean, and I think it was like pretty normal, one. Like nothing special. So I'm not from a rich family. So 3 kids in a family, it's a lot.
Yeah.
And it was really tough for my parents, right? And but still, they used to call it like 90s.
Yes, same.
And in post-USSR, like 90s are
Tough.
very harsh, yeah. So it was. So this is the era of no internet, right? And whenever everything was starting, like mobile phones, and we used to play a lot of, spend a lot of time in the yard of our like flats, apartments, I mean.
Yep.
And one signature thing I think from that period is that you used to call like to your friend by a phone, like you know,
the telephone, the normal telephone plugged in. Yeah.
This circle, you
I had that.
You dial it, and you ask like, is this guy at home?
Yep.
Can you call him to the phone? And if he is not, then you don't know where is he.
Disappeared.
Right? Yes.
Yeah.
And usually you always go to check to the inner yard of your
Could be
apartment.
at the park
and
or
there could be
something.
like all different, like people from different flats. And it was some place where you could get some joy actually. And I had a lot of nostalgia for this period of time because of that. Nowadays it's more about like you always in the smartphone, like how are you?
Yeah.
That's all. He typed like I'm fine. That's all.
Very good.
So this is something that I remember really good, and that some people from nowadays will not even understand what I'm telling
Exactly.
you.
Did you grow up in Kiev or
Yes.
somewhere else?
I grew up in Kiev. It's the capital of the Ukraine, and I think I was really lucky to grow up in the good area of Kiev. Like it's center, like old city. It's really beautiful. It's much better than like suburbans of Kiev.
Yeah.
And I think it also affects your mentality, your inner culture, everything.
Of course. So I look at you, how I view you, as someone who's very smart, very calm. But when you were a kid at school and stuff, were you the smart kid? Were you good? Were you bad? Were you in trouble? What was it like?
School?
Yeah.
So in school,
Yeah, here we go.
I was a legend,
Okay.
but opposite, you know. I like to say, how to say it, the main manager of the school in English, how to say
Head
it?
teacher.
Head teacher, yeah. So the head teacher, she was always in the front door in the morning, and she was like watching around, controlling everything, like analyzing. And I always been late, and I was missing a lot of lessons, and I was going. So you go from your house, from apartment. There is a way to school, and you go, and at some point you choose. I go to the internet cafe, or I go to school. And a lot of times I was choosing internet cafe. And that's why I think I become a player. I mean a CS player.
Nice.
And so the head teacher, she was always saying like, Gorodensky, again you're always late, you're always missing. So it like was anti popularity, you know. I mean like something like not in a negative.
Negative light.
Negative light.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's not like I was really good pupil and with good results, good. But I think at the end of the school I started to focus more on gaming. It was at that point of time it was much more interesting for me.
Of course.
And
So how old were you when you were like starting your gaming, playing Counter-Strike, for example? When did you pick that up?
I think it was 13 years old.
Nice.
I was 13 years old. It was 99.
Yep.
1999. And so I had problems in school actually. Huge problems in school. They even wanted to remove me. So it's something different in Ukraine. It's not like in Europe. I mean, the culture of the school. Sometimes teachers can try to remove some people from the school to have more better picture, better.
So everyone the class looks better because you got rid of the bad person.
So
Yeah.
there was something like this. They wanted me out of school because of that. literally violating like my rights.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had so if you speak about this, it's like a long story, but I had like really tough times at some period of time. I had a really tough time. I was even in a school. Technically they removed me from the book, but I was still going there because it was my right. I was going, and in half a year, the head teacher said like, okay, put him back.
Oh, okay. So you kept coming. They let you come back.
I was going to the school, doing like all exercises, giving it to the teacher. Some teacher was saying, okay, I will check it. Some said, no, you're not a pupil here. So at some point, it was tough for a little like teenager or even like a little kid.
That's so different to like how I view European schools as well. Very hard.
So but eventually at the end of the school, I was starting to miss a lot of lessons and going to internet cafe. And I think now it's different. I think now everyone is sitting at home and his own PC. And when I was starting, there were no like good internet, no PCs for every player. So this culture of internet cafe was really popular in Ukraine, post-USSR countries.
Of course. Now, when we look at your career as a 1.6 player, you played with like Starix, Strike, there's some big names in there that you've been involved in, but did you consider yourself on a professional level? And at what time was that? And also, obviously some European teams who are the best in the world, they got either no salary or very little salary. When was your first salary in terms of playing?
We used to say at that time that what can be called like professional gamer, and we were saying that when you receive some salary, from that point you're becoming a professional like pro gamer, for example, right? And so we used to say pro gamer. Sometimes they say esports player or something, but we used to say pro gamer. And in 2004, we created this lineup where we were thinking about the name of the team. I came with like amazing gaming.
Yes.
And they liked this idea, like a-gaming. And at some point of time, I think it was 2005, our manager like did a really good job. She was doing it for free. That's something that is really surprising me now, that we had like 2 persons who were around us, were helping us. They were like really enthusiastic about this and a lot of initiative from them. And they were just doing this because they like this. They were enjoying this.
Passion.
This subculture, and it's kind of really inspiring. And this manager, the girl, she found a sponsor for us.
Nice.
And we were receiving like, I think, I don't remember, but I think it was $400. But in Ukraine at that time it was different value for our like national currency. So it was the first salary, and we realized that we are moving to something more professional, not a hobby like now. Now we realize that it's more professional kind of work.
What did your parents think? Were they supportive? Did they agree with it?
No.
So they wanted you to go to school, not be playing so much?
Yeah, the parents were really angry about it and against this, of course. And they were always trying to stop this, to persuade me like to change my opinion. And there's always conflict. But it wasn't as tough as for some other players, some other stories that I heard that sometimes people were like having situations when parents were like just taking the PC out or turning off the
Power gone. Yeah.
Something like this, and put them like, you will sit for 1 month at home, you will not go to your friends, like isolating, you know. It wasn't like this for me, so I was just arguing all the time, but I was still trying to do this, like going, playing, and so on. So parents were more focusing on earning money. So I received this space for evolving, gaming.
Yeah.
I think that experience was really important. Nowadays, I think if you have like some young coach who is like 3 years in CS, for example, I can look back to '99 and compare like everything. Like, for example, I see the approach to the game, or I see approach to the mental aspect,
Yep.
how they try to behave before the match. And considering this, I can compare and know the cons and
Pros and cons.
Yeah.
Now, you have some success in 1.6. You were not either on the main Navi roster, for example, right? The best teams at least come from the region, especially towards the end. But you moved to CSGO, and you've now got a lot of experience. What was it like for you moving from 1.6 to CSGO? Because if I'm right, on a professional level, you never touched Source.
We actually touched Source
Okay.
in 2005, I think.
Yep.
So WCG, it was like the main.
When we got forced to use it, right?
It was
I
the main.
remember.
It was the main tournament for our region. Everyone was. It's like now international Dota 2. Everyone was waiting for this event, preparing like for the whole year, and not focusing a lot for other events, and changing lineups after this event. So we were really sad that it was Counter-Strike Source. I think it was 2005, and we lost our qualification, but we played this game. We didn't like it.
Terrible game.
So changing to CS:GO, actually, really, I was really skeptical. I was thinking like, I think I didn't change from the beginning. So some teams like NAP, they changed, and we were still playing like 1.6, and we even won with Kershnet, like our last CS, like big CS 1.6 event. It was in Kiev, in Strelada Arena. Some teams that left in CS communities, they also came. But it was nice. It was nice to win this event. It was a lot of money for us at the moment. I think it's a big prize for us in terms of money. And then I had a break. I didn't want to switch to CS:GO. I was thinking about finishing the career, like to switch to to switch to something like else. I was always fond of cinematography, like filmmaking,
Nice.
and I was studying this like a hobby for 5 years, I think.
Okay.
But not like commercial, more like art house.
Yeah.
So I know a lot about this. And someday, one guy told me that, do you want to try? I have an organization. The guy with an organization who can pay money, and we can try to build a team to try something. Oh no, wait. I think we tried Kershnet in CS:GO. We had a sponsorship. We tried Kershnet in CS:GO for 3 months. We took some guys from Source because there was a rumor that Source players will be good in CS:GO, but they were not good at all. And if you look now at these players, it was really fun. Like how they approach the game, how they think, decision making.
Not the same way, so
It was
different.
really funny. And then I stopped because Kershnet said we have no sponsorship more.
Aha. Okay.
And then
So
I
that's
stopped.
when you stopped
And
it.
then, like in 2 months or 3, the guy told me, let's try. And that was the Courage Gaming with Simple.
Yes, yeah, young Simple as
Yeah,
well.
Courage Gaming with Simple. We won like LAN in Voronezh, it's a city in Russia. And the guy, the owner of the organization, he was a con man, and he was fooling us all the time. And he was paying like only to me because he knew that I am like the captain. That he need me because I control everything in the game. And he was also fooling me, but he was saying like, I will send you like $100 now, and I have problems. I will send you like later. 1 week later, he sends more, but he was saying the same, telling the same things to other players, and was like feeding them with tomorrows, we say.
Lies.
Lies.
Yeah.
So at the end we came to this event in Voronezh, but we changed the name of the tag, not Courage. We attended like hashtag. The name was hashtag, and we won it. It was good.
Very good, very good.
We won the LAN.
Yeah.
I think we even won the Hellraisers with a stand-in. It was a nice memory. The first event with a Simple. And that was actually the switch to the go and the beginning of my CSGO. Like, I think not the Kershnet. Kershnet was like some months.
Because it's like continuing from 1.6, but not really.
Yeah. So I think, from that period, from hashtag, I started the path to now. In CSGO.
Okay. So, your relationship with Simple back then is obviously very different to now, right? You also played together on Flipside. I want to touch on Flipside because what you said to me earlier, how WCG was a focus, right? You wanted to like make sure you qualified for that event. When it came to Flipside, you guys wouldn't do so well in other tournaments, but when it came to the major, Flipside was always there, you were always qualifying. Was that because this was a focus?
Like Spirit.
Yeah.
Spirit now.
See?
Maybe we build this culture in CS, and now we have some more teams who are really motivated at majors. For example, you can see like Forza playing Cologne, Katowice.
They qualify every now and again, yeah.
But you Blast, but you see Force playing major and qualifying like to top 16. Spirit the same. So not all CS teams like this, but there are tendencies that some teams are playing better on majors than all other events. But of course we have outsiders, we have Cloud9 now that are more stable, and nothing more, right?
Oh, that's you guys, yeah.
That's you, yeah. So, I don't know, it was something, that first time that I attended major was with that team. We changed the guy because he said he bought like vacation tickets already, and his nickname was Prizrak, and we took play me as a stand-in for the qualifiers. And qualifiers for major were online. We have won SK Gaming, I think, and Mouse Sports, and qualified. It was like a sensational performance. But for us, it was more like, oh, nice. We won some cup, We didn't know what to extend. Like we qualified for some land.
So you didn't understand what you'd done?
No, because when the guy told me that there are some stickers, and we don't have organization, so we will have like our own sticker, like that team. And good thing that one of our guys had the logo already. And he sent the tickets, and then we realized that we were on the event. We played really bad. This is the event that I read on HLTV. There was something about memories from Major, and one of them were like Cloud9. It's the same event, 2014, Cologne. They were playing also sensational, and they were playing versus NAP, I think. And there was a cobblestone, and Freiburg hid it on this cannons spot on cobblestone. And I read that Cloud9 didn't know that this spot exists because they didn't practice this map at all.
They did not know it,
We had the same problem with Alan. We practiced and we played only 2 maps. and lots of maps was cobblestone and overpass. But we didn't practice them really good enough because we just had a stand-in, a change of players. And I think they announced these maps like really close to the event. I think so.
Okay.
Because nobody did have enough time to practice these maps. It was such a strange decision. So we thought we're playing VP and IB Power.
Yeah.
And we thought that it's better to try our chances on maps that are like not default maps. So maybe these teams will play bad and we will have a chance because VP was really strong. And we lost eventually, but on this event there were like always some talks like, what will you do with your sticker money? They asked us. Valve asked us. I said, I don't know, just some pocket money. And he said, no, it's not the pocket money. I didn't.
You didn't know how much?
Yeah, I didn't know there are some websites where you can check this.
Yeah, okay.
You know? And eventually it was like, I think it was $50,000 for the whole team. So it's like, it was really huge money for us.
Especially for you guys, yeah, of course.
For CS region.
If you're looking at like how you convert dollars into your money as well.
The prize, my biggest prize was I think third place on WCG 2007. It was maybe 35,000. It was like bronze.
And this was 50,000 just for stickers?
Yes.
Was that 50,000 each person?
Yeah, no, 10.
Not at that time, because it's still the early days before a big amount of sticker money being bought.
Still then I realized that this is like what kind of event, like it can change your life, literally. And and then it started something like this, like a lot of hype before major. We call it like a magic, like major magic. And I mean, now when we analyze opponents, who will win matchups, I say like major magic. It can happen always, like because how we always were qualifying as a flip side, winning like big names, like for example, like FaZe win in Krakow. We eliminated them, like Liquid win on qualifiers, minor qualifiers. We also eliminated them. Dignitas, we had some really good matches and eliminated some. Took a sport of some really strong and expected teams,
And is this because of like
NAP? I remember that we eliminated NAP and took the legend spot in Cologne.
Yeah.
And it was the first time when we were legends and Shara fall off the stage.
That's a moment we have to find as well. Flip side, keep qualifying for the majors. But outside of that, we didn't really see you guys qualify for that many events you took part, but it was not the same success. You're telling me about Major Magic. At this point though, was Flipside also giving you a salary, or were you just living off the sticker money stuff? So your full salary?
Flipside was always salary from the first day from the beginning.
Great. So they were looking after you.
Flipside was really good.
And at this point, how long had you been like in-game leader? How long through like your career had you been the leader?
From 2004, I think.
Wow, so you just been pretty much your whole career the leader.
In 2004, the guy told me like, let's gather a team, this amazing gaming.
Yep.
And he told me that he sees me as an in-game leader, and you need to try.
Oh wow.
He was helping me a lot with this. And from that point, I started to evolve as an in-game leader.
So
2004.
So since 2004, you've always been an in-game leader. This goes well with how I say you're very smart with this. You continue it now, right? You're a coach at the same time. But also in flip side, what I look at is you always played with like the next generation of players from your region. Like you had Electronic, you had Simple, right? So many other players that reached high level, but you never went with them. What I look at in your career, if we look at 1.6, Kirchnet, you were obviously very loyal to that. Flip side, very loyal to that. Okay, you've had like a little small stint in Gambit, but then you were just Na'Vi the whole way. Do you find yourself wanting to be loyal to a brand or a team and you don't like to leave, you don't like to change? Did the offer ever come up? Like someone say for you, oh, you can leave Flipside, you could join Navi or something before?
I remember that we won one event in Leipzig with Electronic.
Yeah.
It was nice to win at least something, except the qualifiers. But it's nice, yeah, first place. I think B1ad3 was in the final. It was the first event of B1ad3 lineup. So we just created it. It was nice. It was nice, but
it was a dream hack, right? Dream hack.
Yeah. Why we didn't won a lot of others? Because to be able to do that, you need more budget. You need more players, better players. You need to change them. I think I was evolving in an environment that I used to.
Yeah.
I set the limits for myself, like initially. Something like you have limits of progress and you can go further.
Okay.
It was something like I was realizing and wasn't trying to change because Flipside can't buy a really good player, change a lot of players, pay good salaries. It's not like you can build a dream team.
Yeah.
For boot camps, for example, to create an environment where you can boot camp before each event all the time. We were having only before really big, and we had a boot camp before Cologne.
Yep.
That when we qualified to the Legends, so top 8.
Yeah.
So usually boot camp was always effective, productive for us. So I think that in Flipside, the other problem always was that we were losing players at some point. Maybe it's something that was destiny, some destiny, I mean, if you're doing something and something happens, you can think that this is random stuff. But at the same time, it's with every your action, every your move, maybe you are predicting this, the proper word, not predicting,
anticipation, I guess.
Yeah, but with
expecting it.
With 3 steps doing, you're not expecting what will happen, but still, this is something that you do.
Yeah, so it's
preventing,
following on to your, even without knowing it, you're still going in that direction. Destiny is correct, yeah, destiny was right.
So sometimes I used to think about this, that I keep saying that, for example, first problem was the toxicity of Simple. We lost him at some point, and for my system it was if you change a player, you need to build something from the beginning.
So every player that changed, you have to start fresh.
Yes, because he was an important element. We need to train, practice everything with him again from the beginning. You need to have more time again. You need some time to get to that point where you are before the player left you. So simple. Then I think we lost Bondik. He went to Hellraiser. We got Violander instead. So it's not like we could buy instead of Bondik somebody really, really good Electronic, for example, right?
But you were selling these players to other orgs, but it wasn't enough money to buy.
I think Bondik just left. I don't remember. Or they sold it. Him, I don't remember. But still, first Simple, then Bondik. We had Flamey and Adrian.
Yeah, I remember Adrian, yeah.
And before Flipside, so we had a lineup with Adrian and Flamey, and Flipside approached us, and at the same time players wanted Adrian and Flamey, and they took them.
So
they was like, what the hell? Okay, but let's take Markelov and Simple instead, and go to Flipside. That's how. So again, we high lineup, practicing, bam, they are leaving, we have 2 more, practice again.
Yeah.
Then we have Simple, he left, we got, I think, I don't remember who it was. Maybe it was Bondik. I don't remember. Or somebody else. And then we got Shara, right? But that was, I think it was one of mistakes. It's something that, I mean, mistakes in terms of if you want to go higher and become a better team, you need to find one of the best players, right? If you want to be the best team, you need, if you're changing someone, you need to find one of the best players. And we took a player from what we had, like, of
what was
like
available.
one of three choices who was available. It's not like something you build from the beginning and you can pick anyone, right? So lack of possibilities, lack of opportunities is one of the problems. But when I'm saying this, then I think it was electronic, good lineup. We were playing really good, I think, at some point. Even, as I said, we won Leipzig. And then when he left, we couldn't find somebody who is like, that was like the end, I think.
Yeah, you just realized.
It was the end. Because we didn't have budget for a lot of good players.
Yep.
And at the same time, there was a window closed of transfer and we couldn't took anyone from Major. So it was a rule, and we took a CS because he was the only one with visa, and the only one who was free. Said, okay, experienced guy, but I think I didn't like.
It wasn't what you wanted.
Yeah, I think it's not the guy who we needed at the time. Then he left, of course, after the major, and we tried to find like saying Lollipop.
Yeah.
We started, but still, it's something that you are, as you said, trying to find some new guys.
This must have been very hard for you.
Unknown names, yeah. But it's not like now when you can pick top player, for example, right?
Yeah.
And everyone will say, "Oh,
it's Nabi, I want to go."
I want to go. It's much better, of course. So that was a problem.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think this lack of opportunity, it could be part of my mistakes. Like, for example, I mean, the steps. It was
your mistakes.
Of course, it's lack of opportunity, but still, it's keep
trying.
It's keep happening.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Because you didn't make it there, so play leaves
it was
to a better
something
team.
that I was living in this limits environment, and I didn't try to break it, to change it like significantly. And I was always trying to evolve in this environment.
But you were just stuck because you didn't have these things. So
I wasn't trying to think something like different. And it was like, we lost a player, we got a player. Let's try from the beginning. We lost a player, let's try again. So I was not admitting, like accepting this. I think
rather than trying to do a big change.
I think if I wanted to achieve something more with flip side, I needed it first, not to accept their situation. I needed to try to create, to make it bigger, to make the organization bigger, to create some system. I don't know, maybe like now with Junior and something like this, maybe.
Juniors come up, yeah.
Second thing, I think we needed to change a lot of times some players, but we were in a good relationships, and these relationships were.
You didn't remove them.
These relationships were stopping us from changing, and this is a very, very bad habit, a bad mistake. If you want to achieve something, you need to sacrifice something.
You need to ignore the personal relationships, right? Focus on the goal.
Yes.
I love this, Blade, because you know how I view you is I view you as like the godfather of the region, because so many good players went on to be some of the best players in the world under you. And that even went through when you stopped playing, when you went to coaching. Look at that Gambit youngsters lineup. I remember doing an interview with you where it was Axel, you just bring him onto the main Gambit roster, and you told me he's gonna be one of the best players in the world one day. You said that. And I thought...
You remember that, right?
I remember the interview. And
you were the proof.
Yeah, and I said to you, I said, I don't know, I see these players. And you said, no, I know, I've seen it. This one, he'll be one of the best. And then, what do we see? The Gambit youngsters become the main roster. And Axel did become one of the best players in the world, one of the best riflers by far. He looks incredible today. Why do you think you're good at helping these younger players or seeing the talent? Is it just the experience, or is there something specific you do? Because not many people in Counter-Strike have this ability.
Tough question. First of all, I think that still it's something natural. I mean, natural when young guys are appearing and evolving and becoming some better. Because if you look at any sport, for example, now in tennis, I think Alcaraz, like a really great player who will change Nadal or Djokovic, Federer, he will be like one of them.
Next generation.
Yeah. It's something natural. If not me, somebody else will do this. If not somebody else, they will do it by themselves. So it's not like I was the changing point or like defining element. Of course, at some point, but still I was part of.
You're so humble.
I was part of a natural environment.
Okay.
I took my part. So.
Yeah. You played a very big part in our eyes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course. But what I'm trying to say is that it would happen anyway. But maybe it would be another player. But still, people must understand this.
But you don't feel like you contributed to their success?
Contributed,
yeah?
but
Good.
I think everyone who was contacting them during their life was contributing.
Yeah.
Was their parents, their friends, their like mentors
the way I
in
look
the
at
school. It's very important.
I agree.
The mentality is really important because now, what I'm afraid the most, if you looking for a new player, for example, when we are doing this for Found Perfecto,
yeah,
you don't know who will you get in a person.
Yeah, personality and stuff.
Mentality, personality,
fits in.
champion's character, and so on and so on. So, okay, I was working a lot with electronic, but I didn't grow him up, you know.
Okay, but how I look at it, right, is that had they maybe met another in-game leader, at first, maybe they would have been not looked after in the same way, not taught a good system.
Yeah, of course.
They might have not reached that, you know. So
part of progress is mine.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it seems like a lot of players reach you, and they reach their potential. Where we've seen many good players in any game, and we say, oh, they could be good, but they don't get there for different reasons. I think like you bring the best out of people.
So it's something like there is a potential, which is not
guaranteed, I guess.
I mean, which is not my.
Okay.
How to say it?
Not your effect on them.
So they have a potential, and I'm not part of this potential, right? But I can use it. So everything that happened before me was also important, and somebody made a huge part of like building this potential in the person, right? And then I tried to look to see it when I analyzing new players and trying to look into and find like, oh, there is a potential. And then another part, you need to make out of this potential something bigger, like to use it. Of course, so if you think of this, it's like 3 different stages.
Yeah.
First,
step by step by step.
Building with this potential. Second, to see this potential. And the third, to build something from this potential. And I think second stage is something that other scouts or in-game leaders or players are also famous of or like proud of.
Yeah.
So I found this guy.
Yeah.
I told that he has a potential. But another guy say, but I use this potential. And now I build this guy. So I think it's all stages are really important. And I think most of the time I was involved in second and third, sometimes only in third. For example, with Perfect. Yeah, so I think why they are getting like to their prime, you need to know one thing, to think about one thing.
Okay.
you don't know how good they will be under control of some other game leader.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's also one part.
But I look at it like simple, right? Can be any in-game leader, he'll still be very good because he has an ability to do things that you shouldn't do in a game and he still makes it make sense. But there are a lot of players that have worked on different in-game leaders and we see them thrive under you. But I'm gonna keep us moving and keep us on to when you were at Gambit, right? That was kind of like a small moment for the career, right? Did you always have the goal of going to Navi? Or did the opportunity just come and you took it? Because obviously Gambit at the time was looking good.
In my head, I always was thinking about this. Like 1 or 2 years before, I had a talk with CEO Navi, and he just told me that at some point in future we will be interested in you.
And as a coach, like this, at this point, it was a full just coach.
As a coach, yes, of course, as a coach.
Cool.
We were speaking about like academy team and something like this, and say, yeah, it's very interesting. We need academy team, but I will think about it. Maybe. So they were interested in me, like to create academy team or like to be a coach if there will be a slot, and if I will have free. If I will also be free, I would. Timings will be same.
Working together.
Yes. Then we will go the same direction, same way, right? So yeah, I was always keeping that conversation in my head. And of course, when I joined Gambit, I didn't think for sure that this is my last station.
Nice. So we did a small bit of coaching in Flipside.
But right? I didn't know when.
Yeah. You did a small bit of coaching in Flipside, then you do a bit of coaching in Gambit. This teaches you now how to be a better coach. But then the Navi one is strange because you don't join as a coach at first. You join in like the organization. I forget, what was the role? What was the name of the role you had before you were
Esports director?
Esports director. I got a question here. To me, that seemed like just a joke of a title until Kane had gone and Zeus had gone so that you could do what you needed to do. I looked at this as like, okay, Blade is free. We know we're losing Zeus eventually. He's going to go. And Kane will go with him because he's not you. So it was like, we'll give Blade this esports director role and then wait for the other two to go.
Maybe they had this plan in the head. It's like maybe it was a strategy that it's better to keep me like close.
Because you're valuable.
And then if the sport will be free, they will move me. But when I was esports director, I was trying to help as much as possible to
just Counter-Strike or other teams as well?
To all teams. But the priority was still CS:GO and esports camp. So we were focusing first esports camp, then CS:GO team, and I was still like trying to help to Kane, to Zeus, like to give some advices to them.
Good luck.
Like guys, I think. Better to do like this kind of boot camp to change a little bit system. We will be like more productive. We need to like be more help. Some different stuff. I was trying to give them advices. So it was not something like I was trying to spoil like their careers or to remove them as fast as possible.
You're not like that.
And to change. I was trying to be like a fair play. To wait, just do my job it wasn't like I was sitting esports director and was doing nothing. It was a very tough job actually, like 6 disciplines.
Different.
I need to focus everything. Everything to think. Here we need to fix this. A lot of things to do, like table,
to-do list, like
to-do list,
this.
I don't have this to-do list now. It's such big.
Now it's just Counter-Strike.
Yeah. Also, I think that Flipside gave me a lot of experience in terms of failures. If you fail a lot,
and you never gave up.
Yeah, if you fail a lot, you know more. How to say it?
You learn from all of the failures like that.
So it's like in Silicon Valley, they value this kind of people who make more failures than
we call it failing upwards.
So
you fail but you keep going.
Like next step most likely will be more. The chance will be like more successful than failure. And I think I got a lot of experience from mistakes from Pip's side, and I agree that I did a lot of mistakes there.
But it was still a very successful team, at least when it comes to like majors in terms of what you guys achieved, with what you had, the limits that we spoke about. But it's interesting to me what your relationship with Zeus in Kane was like, because I look at you as like completely different people in how you view the game. So like, how was that? Because I don't know, maybe Navi could have had more success in CSGO had you been a leader during that time, had you been in IGL. Do you ever think about that kind of stuff?
You mean when I was esports director?
Yeah, not just when you're just in the scene, right? If you know someone in your community, what was that relationship like? Because I see you two as very different in-game leaders, very different views of the game.
You mean what was the relationship with Zeus and Kane before?
Yeah.
During the whole career?
Yeah, like, because
they were my rivals all the time. They had a team Pro 100 in 1.6, and we were always competing against each other. And sometimes they were winning us, and I think we won 1 or 2 main qualifiers against them.
Was it respect and friendship or real rivalry?
No, we were not like friends.
Okay.
But it was like respect, like hi, bye.
But
yeah, we knew each other, but we were not friends. And at some point they went to Virtus Pro. They were like main rivalry.
Did they respect you when you came into Navi?
I don't know actually. I was trying not to go a lot into the system of the game, how he sees the game, to Zeus' vision. I was not trying to go. Maybe sometimes when I was listening to discussions as a team, it was like, if there was a question, I was saying, I think this, for example, like only in terms of discussion, like in terms, not like I was forcing like guys or arguing and so on. So it's something that I didn't ask them about this question, because they respect me or not. But for me, as a person, at some point I realized that you shouldn't run for somebody's opinion. It's very important.
Very true.
Because otherwise you will lose yourself at some point. And I always respect only the opinion of some people who I admire. And they can be important. And in this way, it's something that you need to understand, that this is opinion of some other person about you. He doesn't know you, right?
Exactly.
You need to find answers inside yourself all the time.
That's why I'm enjoying this. I'm learning more about you. So now let's talk about this moment. You're the director of esports at Navi, but then you get asked to be the coach. What did that feel like for you? Were you still, like, for example, for me, if I was you and Navi asked me to join, I'd celebrate a little. I'd be very happy, but I don't know how is it for you? Because even like when you won the major in Stockholm, I remember the first thing you said to me, still mistakes. So was it a celebration moment for Blade when he got to join Navi as a coach?
Do you mean, was it jumping around like, woo?
I can't imagine you doing that. But I mean, like, did you feel like, yes, I've got what I wanted, I made it?
Of course.
Yeah.
But I think it's when I got to Navi as an esports director, I think I realized that at some point I will be a coach.
Okay. So it was already mentality was there.
Something that I was feeling that will happen at some point. And one thing that you are use it as advantage is that you can prepare yourself and prepare everything, all stuff about coaching, like coaching stuff, coaching things. So you can do a lot of preparation while you are not a coach. You can analyze, watch some interesting things like interviews. So you gather a lot of knowledge. It's something that I don't have a privilege now, because the schedule is always tough. You need to have a rest, and you can't always be like inside this environment. Sometimes you need to pop out of it.
Yeah.
to reset yourself. So I like the period of esports directors. I was trying to get more knowledge, and before this happens. And when it happened, I knew exactly what to do.
Nice.
But
Yeah, always a but.
I think we didn't get the best option we could got. I mean, the offer. So when I became the coach, the offer was Guardian.
Yes.
And,
oh yeah, Simple was on the rifle.
Yeah, the rifle. I'm still thinking that he's like amazing rifle, and
Definitely.
he will be like one of the best. If he will
He is the
play
best player of all time.
from that point, if he would keep doing this,
Yeah.
he would be like Nico.
Okay. Yeah.
So
That's
I
right.
think two of them. I think.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Nico and Simple, they will be like this. But even now, Simple can out aim like one versus
amazing.
with a rifle, not with a with an AWP. And it's. I think people can understand that you could have a good offer. For example, Shiro.
Yeah.
For example, instead of Guardian, and Simple. Shiro is doing like really like stable stuff. Like
More defensive, right?
more defensive, but it's always stable. It's like on distance, it's stable.
Yeah, consistent.
And Simple as a rifle, like stable, also. So I not like believe. I'm sure that this lineup like would be like one of the best. I mean, it's a good offer, like really good offer. Like for example, now Monacy is a good offer, right?
You're talking about just when you joined, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that vision that I had, I was looking for a rifle. I couldn't find a good rifle. That's why I advised Simple, do you want to be a rifle? He said, yes, I'm ready to do this. It wasn't something like...
He's ready to do anything.
It was like, he said like, no, I didn't want this. And I said, you need to do this. No, it wasn't like this. We spoke about with him before the decision.
Yeah.
And he said that he is really like into it to try. But the problem is translation, I mean language.
Yeah.
Language barrier was the problem. And
For Guardian.
yes, but when they told me that we were thinking about this player, they told me that he's like really good in Russian. But eventually,
You saw.
I'm pretty sure not. And in communication is really important, really important.
Communication is the key to success.
And that was one of really huge mistakes, and my mistakes that I like accept this, right? So
you take the responsibility.
yes, and one thing that I didn't think about is that I still think that it's not a good idea to get a player who was kicked from another team. I don't think that it's a good environment, if you know what I mean.
So taking someone from a team that's not Navi, bringing them in.
So if player left by himself, he didn't like something, it's still something strange. You need to understand properly why it happened. But when he was kicked, usually it's something. There is no smoke without a fire.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that Guardian was like really bad player. I'm saying that he, at the time when we picked him, it wasn't the Guardian that was, for example, in Navi before or in FaZe before. It was Guardian with the new Guardian that was kicked. So, for example, if you take like
You can't look at the past results.
his prime, 100%. If he was kicked, there is a chance that it's not a prime.
Yeah.
There's still a chance that he will be like really motivated, like Shocks, for example. He's like getting older, but still he's motivated enough, and sometimes he played really good. So there's always a chance that this guy will perform. But there's also still a chance that this guy will not perform at the same prime level. So what I'm trying to say is that if Guardian like 100% of his shape in FaZe, then when he was kicked, there is a huge chance that he will play like, for example, 70% of his shape. The reasons can be different, but one of them is why he was kicked. So, but still, I still think that he could be a much better player in our team if he would speak proper good Russian language.
Yep.
And the communication was on prime. So we was like top 4, I think 2 or 3 times. And in semifinals, we were losing matches in these little small gaps, details, like when, especially when he was not, most of the time, we were losing situations when he was not reacting like immediately. It's really important, like, to get a connection between
hear the
players.
information, take the decision.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think that was the main problem.
Now, for me, right, I've been a Navi fan since the CS 1.6 days. We didn't have much success after 1.6. We were always close to the top. But it wasn't until you came involved and then we got bit that we started to see, okay, this is a team.
You're a Navi fan from CSGO?
No, from the 1.6 days. Yeah.
Wow, so you know the whole line?
The whole
Starix,
the whole way through.
Senya.
So I was in Korea for E-Star Seoul.
And you came to Zero Gravity.
2011, and I met Zero Gravity, just met the boys. We were watching the Dota team win TI, and what I understood was like the mentality that the players had and what they wanted to achieve was like something I could relate to. And so I got to know them, spent some time drinking, relaxing, and I was like, this is cool, like this is my team. But then in CSGO, we didn't have success, things were not good.
Yeah.
It was a constant. Then towards like say 2014 onwards, we can make playoffs, we can have better runs, but not successful. It wasn't until you come in and until we see bit
It's a
really.
technical success, not like we
But
had.
I mean, it's not like top one like consistency.
Not like this, but
you know?
I think there's a little period when they won like 3 events in a row, and one of them was Cologne. They surprised me a lot.
See?
Yeah.
So, what do you think it was? Would you think it was just bit? Do you think it was your system? What was the change to make Navi the success it was? Because Boomich comes in as an inexperienced in-game leader in comparison to Zeus. You've still got Simple, the best player in the world. You've got obviously Perfecto comes in as well. Electronics doing what he does best. Then we see obviously Flamey. He drops out eventually. Bit comes in, but you make this a very slow transition for Bit. You bring him up gently, I would say.
So you want to know what is the key?
Yeah. What do you like? Was this all part of a master plan? Was there a bit of luck involved?
I think it's very easy. It was something that you want to achieve, right? And you are doing this methodically. That's all.
Okay.
So we need to
bit.
be like the best team in the world. What do we need? This. We have opportunities like the budget to change everything. Like we have
The power of Navi.
Yes, that was very important. So maybe this is a success because when you have this opportunity, you have more space to variety to do something, and it was pretty natural. Like you set a goal, you see, and you're analyzing the mistakes, the problem. You fix the problem. For example, change a player, better communication, win Katowice. Then you start to lose. You see the problem, change the player. You said gently, right? Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
because
just Inferno to start off
first,
with.
it's more fair to give to player a chance to prove himself.
Yeah.
There's a chance. So it's not like you're removing him, you are giving him chance. You see, we have a beat in the team, and
How to try and motivate Flamey.
It's time, and like it's you have a chance to prove yourself.
Okay.
And Beat also have a chance to prove himself.
And he did.
And it's competitive scene. As I told you, something from flip side, my experience that if you want to be the best in the world in a competitive scene, you can't rely on relationship.
No.
So I just gave them the environment where they're like equal, and we're trying to prove themselves. And eventually, like, the whole team felt that B1ad has like more rights, not like not even the right, like more chances to be to have this lineup, to lead this lineup to their best team in the world.
What made you choose B1ad? Because obviously he
It's
came
not only
in.
me. I mean, all players were like, it was mutual decisions. Like, who is better?
Also, as a team, you looked at the junior roster.
We would leave this the same system if there was a model. I mean, Valve didn't allow to change players. Remember, so
the six-man
plan was
roster,
to still to have maybe to reduce the maps for Flamey. He would play less maps. I wanted to have 7 players actually.
Interesting.
With Monothy at some point of time.
Of course.
And to switch the players, and I think the system is much better. I'm pretty sure it's much better. You can switch a player between the maps. You can.
So you like the bigger roster?
I like when you can rotate players. But because of that, we couldn't, and we made a decision to give a bit a chance. But at the same time, there was a decision, and there was a moment where we needed to make a decision. Like, it wasn't like we remove Flamey. It was like we give B1ad a chance. So if he will not play good, maybe we will change Flamey again.
Okay.
So there was like a lot of, so it's trial. It was a trial, right? And as I said, step by step, you're trying to set the goal. You're trying to focus on the problem that is happening now. For example, then we won 2021. Like, the end of the year was really successful. 2022 we had like initial problems in the team,
which makes sense.
And now still we need to fix this. Now we're trying to fix this.
Now I want to ask as well. Simple in your relationship. He was toxic back in the flip side times. He improved as a person. He improved as a player. Did he respect you straight away when you came as a coach? Was it a good relationship, or did it have to be rebuilt? How was it?
I think so.
Yeah.
But about respect, you always need to ask the person.
Well, I know because I've interviewed him before recently, and I know now. He says, "I listen to B1ad. I respect B1ad. I understand his view." But I'm just saying, how is that relationship different from the past to now? How does it feel?
He changed, I mean, as a person.
Definitely.
But I think anyone who is trying to progress, to evolve, will have a success. And the people used to say that people don't change. But I think they are. It depends. It depends on the person, how much he struggles with himself and works on his inner world and everything. So I think he changed because there were a lot of critics towards his side, and so the most difficult part of changing was his part.
Yeah. So now with Navi, you got the first ever CS:GO major for Navi. You're finding success. You got this great team. But let's look at you, because you as a person, you have quite a dry sense of humor. You like to troll a bit on interviews for sure. This has been very serious, but even your Instagram is like the best Instagram in the world because it's just B1ad trophy, B1ad trophy, B1ad trophy. What is your personal goal now going forward? Because you're 35. You must have seen the image where it's you as Splinter from the Ninja Turtles and the kids, right? And it is kind of still the same thing if we look at this Navi is still young. So what's your goals next? More majors, more trophies? What do you want? Where's your path going?
Obviously, it's you're always trying to go higher and to achieve something that people didn't achieve before. It's something natural in a competitive scene, right? If you compete, it's not enough like just to win matches. You want at some point. So when you compete, you want to beat somebody. You want to be better than somebody. If you want to be better, it's something like a natural process, and it will be always like this. You will try to be better than others. So we are trying to be better than others, and the best who did something were Astralis.
Yeah.
So
you want to achieve more than that?
obviously we will relax when we will achieve more.
Okay.
It's obvious.
So they've set the bar. It's your goal to beat it. And
They've set the bar.
Finally, personally for you, you're 35 years old. Do you have a goal of like when you want to retire, or like have some kids, not just train kids in Counter-Strike? You know, what does Blade want to do? Do you know? You've been in Counter-Strike for so long. It's been like your whole life.
Of course, to have success and to write your name in history as like one of the best coaches in the world, and to achieve something that wasn't achieved before.
Yeah.
So this is the main goal.
Okay.
Obviously.
So yours is still work focused for now.
And of course to build your personal life.
Yeah.
Of course, it's something that is normal. Nothing special. It's like to build a house, have a car, have a wife, kids, everything like this. Maybe you want to know what I want to do after CSGO.
Yeah.
But I will not tell you.
Perfect. Blade, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure learning some more about you. For me, you are definitely the best coach right now. I hope your goals and dreams will come true with that. For 100% last year, you were the best coach in esports. I think that goes without saying. You got some of the best players and pieces. It's obviously a difficult time right now, but you're still here at the Major. You went 3-0, and it looks like the team are very full focused. So let's see if we get another Major.
I hope so.